So what is the message after just a game like that to the team going forward?
It's the fifth game of the season, and you learn a lot from games like that. Golden State had a great chance to win that game. Portland had control of the game throughout, but you have to be consistent with how you play, and we got loose with the ball. Supposedly we fouled them a lot at the end, so you combine those two things. It's how you lose a road game like that when you have control of it. So I give Portland credit. Their defense was really good in the fourth. Our defense was not good in the fourth, and that leads to losses.
Just a few games into this season, what's kind of your overarching view of how the team is playing and where you guys want to go?
I think we played really well. Like I said, we've been in control of 5 games. 2 we didn't finish. 77 to go. If we trend that way, clean up the details, the end of games, keep getting performances from guys off our bench, having that 6th and 7th man have a good night, will be hard to beat. But the details is all that matters for us. If we can clean those up, we'll be in a good spot.
Surprised at all with how good Tim has fit in?
No. Tim was one of the most surprising good gets of my NBA career. Signing him was such a big deal for us. Veteran player that's played in big games. I always say this, not just the successes that he's had, but some of the failures that guys go through is why they're so mentally tough. So Tim's not scared of the moment. The guy shoots the ball when he's open. Underrated defensively, really competes on that end. So I know Tim's been great. I expect him to have a really good season.
With how new the defense has been, or parts of the defense, I should say, what have you liked most about adjustments that have been made?
Yeah, I think our activity in the zone's been great. We've had great possessions. The problem with our defense has just been not getting loose balls and offensive rebounds. And in that game, there was 3 times I counted, they got 8 points off 3 different, whether they were offensive rebounds or loose balls. Those are huge plays in the road. You clean up that rebound, the way they crashed 4 people at once. That's why we had 20-plus fast break. If we just would have been better in that area, we could have been at 30. So again, another detail thing. We talked about it. We watched it on film.
Watching back the pressure that Portland applied, is there anything you could have done differently seeing it?
Keep it more simple. Run actions that just allow you to pass it without, less dribbling, more passing, and live with the result behind that. Because the turnovers are runouts. The turnovers are, mentally for your team. You're on the road. The crowd gets into it. They feed into it. I think the way they ref, it changes, and it should, because they were the aggressor. So, yeah, we just have to handle the pressure better. And we talked about today, just keep things more simple and not try to beat something by overthinking it. It's pressure. So stop dribbling the ball so much. Pass the ball. Trust each other in screening actions. It's an easier way to get Nicole the ball off movement than it is just to throw it to them against teams, that have that kind of personnel.
I think you talked about this in the preseason, but you're hesitant to set screens all the way in the backcourt that far away from the basket. Why is that again?
I wouldn't say I'm hesitant. I'm saying that I don't think our best player should be set to screen that far away from the basket and then expect him to run all the way back down, be a part of the action, score a basket, make the right play, and all in 24 seconds. So, yeah, I think CB can go back there and hit somebody. But I didn't think that was the issue. I thought we dribbled back to the middle of the floor a lot, back into the pressure, back into poor spacing, as opposed to playing with the pass, throwing the ball ahead, and allowing the pass to lead us to organization. You play with the dribble against a team like that, you're starting your offense at 16 seconds maybe, and that's not enough time at the end of a game against a defense like that, playing small ball, switching everything.
I know you probably don't want to dwell on calls after a loss, but did you guys have any conversations with the league office about, in particular, the wraparound jump ball?
No, I do think, though, you have to learn from what they say was legal. I thought Drew, when he made contact, the game, the 2 free throws, they said we were sliding. I thought it was minimal contact. If that is considered a foul, we have to teach guys to do that. If you're allowed to wrap someone from behind with two arms, as long as you touch the ball, it's a jump ball. That's a fundamental I have to teach in practice. So we will definitely do that.
Offensive adjustments to all the ball pressure.
Playing with the pass better. And I think because we don't practice very much, because you're trying to maintenance their bodies, it's one of the things you don't work on as much because you're trying to shore up offensive organization, the defenses you change to our zone, our man concepts. We got to spend more time. Even today, we just talked about 3 simple things that we run anyway that you can call and just make a pass to start the offense. I think that'll clean up some of the mistakes we made late. And I can't rely on, Jamal to bring the ball up that much against pressure. Aaron's bringing it up against Jeremy Grant, Kamara. even guys that handle the ball as well as they do, they have to have options that are part of the pass. So we'll continue to work at it. It was a good game for us. We learned a lot from it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a loss, but the things that we've done to lose games are all correctable, and the things that we've done to control games are really good signs of what's ahead.
It seems like there's a lot of really good defensive teams right now in the NBA. Do you think that's personnel related? Is it sort of how the league is shifted? Just kind of curious what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I do. I think teams have, they're changing with the times and more positionless defenders. I think teams have realized some of these guys are so offensively talented, you don't necessarily need a fourth and fifth offensive option. If you have three guys that can get you to 115, the other two guys can just impact the game on the other end. Some teams have gone beyond that, and their bench allows them to completely morph into a different team, like Portland. Golden State did a little bit with Dre at the 5 and Jimmy at the 4 and Kuminga at the 3. So, it's you see more of that optionality at the end of benches as opposed to in the past. I thought the end of the bench was a third center or was a guy that could really come in and get buckets. Some teams are saying, no, let's just go get athletes that can change the game up.
Jamal able to practice today?
Yeah. Yep. Obviously with care. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Takeaways this team could take from the Portland game.
Closing games. That got to be a skill of ours, not something that comes to bite us with the type of players we have. And it's been a combination of offense, defense, transition, and we're close. I think that's the thing is we're right there. We're 2 seconds away from being 5-0, but I think we'll be better for it. And I think one of the biggest plays, man, was just on me, giving up that and one to make it a one-possession game, and it's just make it a 2-point game, I should say. And just plays like that can't happen, man. We've been doing it too long to give up something like that. So there's some frustrating points for sure, and a game that we feel like we obviously should have won. But hey, 77 more to kind of get it right and clean those things up, and we'll take advantage of that.
How's your body holding up?
I'm fine. Yeah.
For your 5 games, what have you learned about what your role will be on this team?
Figuring it out. Figuring out areas, figuring out spots of the floor where flow is, where actions are. It's different, It's obviously a different group. I've been saying this since day one for myself, but a group that's played together for a long time amongst themselves. So I'm trying to do what I do and make it work, but it's definitely a work in progress for sure. But that's part of being a pro is figuring it out. So that's all I got to do on my end.
Are there any aspects of it that you've learned that surprise you, that you maybe didn't think would be part of what your job would be on this team, but you're learning are? No?
No.
I wonder, would you reach out to Michael Porter at all just to say, hey, to get his thoughts kind of on that position and how he moved it on?
No, different players, different situation. I gotta be myself, I gotta be myself. I think everything that I needed from that situation, I kind of seen from watching. For myself, I gotta play my game and figure out how that's going to be effective with our group. And I just at the end of the day gotta have confidence in myself that I'll find that rhythm, and that's that.
Defense is, fronting Jokic, selling out to try and keep the ball from getting into his hands, especially late in games, obviously isn't something new for this team, but what's kind of the process like of trying to figure out the right counters for that in the half-court offense?
Yeah, just figuring out where for me personally, it's figuring out where I need to be. You want to keep the floor space, one, so that rotation has to come from further. So closeouts have to be longer. But I just feel like sometimes I've been caught in between of flash high, stay low, cut. And so I'm watching them, figuring them out, figuring out where my teammates are. And I think that's something that we'll continue to get better at as we see it more and more. And it's going to happen. And sometimes it's just hard to stop them from getting the ball, so they really have to sell out. I feel like for all they've been doing to stop him from getting the ball, he still gets the ball a lot. So maybe they'll have to do a little bit more to stop him, and that'll continue to just open up the floor.
Zone defense seems really popular in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's so popular at the moment?
It's just a little different. A lot of the man-to-man looks, you got really good players, guys that get comfortable, and know how to manipulate it. Zones you can manipulate, but it's a little bit harder for just one person to manipulate. You kind of got to do it as a team. So you just disrupt rhythms. I think that's why teams like going to it, is disrupting rhythms, throwing a little wrinkle. You don't work on zone offense as much as you work on man offense in the league. It is what it is. So kind of trying to use that to your advantage, and you get the ball out of guys' hands, you make them have to move the ball a little bit.
Portland is a team that likes to drive a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. They want to get at you. They want to attack the rim. They want to get out in transition. They want to play fast, and they've been doing a really good job of playing fast. So that element slows it down for sure. And I felt like for the most part we had a solid defensive game. They've been scoring a lot of points. A 38-point fourth quarter, was it? You have them at 71 points going to the fourth. That's good. And if we just close that game, it's a completely different story today. But you learn from it, man. You learn from it.
DA was just saying he needs to teach you guys the legality of reaching around to get a jump ball in certain cases if you have
I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
I've been playing basketball a long time. I've never seen that one. But hey, it's one play out of a bunch more that we could have made to not even be in that situation.
Are there things that you can learn from an end of game sequence where there are frustrating calls that go against you guys? Like, is it kind of just like we have to?
You talking about from in terms of how it's being officiated, or in terms
sort
of
like
you always wonder how end of game is going to be officiated. You always assume that it's going to be allowed to be a little bit more physical, and to allow you. So just seeing how it's been officiated at the end and making adjustments accordingly, where we can find an advantage on it. But yeah, that was a weird end of game flow. It was weird for a lot of reasons, but it felt like really choppy, and they made plays, so you got to give them credit. But there's a lot to learn from that.
How do you close quarters better?
Attention to detail, time and score. I think the next level for us is kind of having a baseline of package or flow that we just get into automatically, and it takes out a little bit of a moment of hesitation. You know what I mean? Taking out that moment of hesitation and being able to capitalize on 2-for-1s and being able to kind of buckle down and get stops. You got to understand that the other team has what they want to go to with 2 minutes on the clock. So just having that high level of awareness and that high level of togetherness, I think that'll continue to develop for us. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.